Hello and welcome. This is Jennifer, and I hope you're having a wonderful new year. So, shaker cards are still very popular in card making. However, I like to do something a little bit different with them, just a unique spin, and that's what I have for you today. This is a window shaker card. You can actually see through the window on the front all the way through the card. So, it goes through the back of the card also, just a little unexpected. I'll have some tips for creating shaker cards like this, and also just some little tips on die cutting when you want to line up dies through several layers of a card. Let's get started with the note card itself. The note card is a top folding kind of coral colored note card that is 4 inches wide by 5.5 tall. Then I have a 4.25 inch wide by 5.5 inch tall white piece that I'm going to put behind it. So we're going to die cut through all of these layers. So we're going to start on the top of the card first and work our way back. So I have these dies. They're new from Hero Arts. It's part of their monthly kit. You don't sign up for like a subscription. Instead, you just go check it out. And if each month you like that month, you can purchase it. In it, there's usually stamps, dies, inks, and such. It's a great bargain with lots of things inside. So I'm using 2 dies from that kit. One cuts the heart in the center, and the other cuts like a scallop around it, a decorative scallop. So we're going to use them together, so I'm taping them together so they position just right. And I'm putting that on the front of our note card first and running this through our die cut machine. So again, this will cut a heart window with little scallops around it. If you don't have these dies, you can use like a stitch die or do 2 stacked dies next to each other, like one size and then a size just one bigger, so that you can create something decorative. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and we have the window on the front of our card. Now I need to cut the next heart through the back of this note card. However, this cardstock that I was using was super thick, so I couldn't cut through both layers at once. So here's the trick that I do. I take that heart that I just cut from the front, put some little bit of glue on the back. I'm going to position it right in like a puzzle, right onto the inside of the card, and that will let me know exactly where that window is positioned. Now I can take the other heart, put it right on top, and cut that. And now this will be cut directly behind the window that we cut on the front of the card. So now the heart window goes through the entire card here. Now after cutting this, I decided I wanted to have that little scallop around it also. So I could have done these both at once. I didn't know that I wanted to have the scallop on the inside too until I did it. So that's why I'm doing this in 2 steps. I'm just taking that scallop die and lining it up right around the heart window and running it through. So now the front of the card and the inside of the card are exactly the same. Okay, so now we have the card like this, but I want to have a shaker window on the back of this card. So I need another layer to sandwich between my shaker between. So that's why I have this white cardstock backing. So it's cut a little bit wider than the note card itself, so it peeks out the sides. I'm going to temporarily adhere that there so that we can cut the window through this white also. So the heart is going to cut through all layers. Now this is another way you can cut through an additional layer. You can just take the heart and pop it right in place here. So I'm just going to pop it right in the center of this pink window and then just tape it there. And then I'm going to die cut it. Now I won't die cut that pink because it's already been cut, but it will cut through that white behind it. So you can either do it this way or the way I just showed you before, where you temporarily adhere the heart itself in its place to help you position it. So just a few ways that you can do that. So now I have the heart cut through all 3 layers and it's perfectly positioned. And again, you can try cutting through 2 or 3 layers at once with the die, but I used a super heavy cardstock. I think this was like 120 pound, so it didn't want to cut through it all. Now to make those scallops kind of pop up, I am pushing from behind on the front of the card. So you can see the little scallops. I'm going to hand deliver this, so this will pop up nicely. Even if you put it through the mail, the little bit of that dimension will stick around. I just love that finishing touch of this die. Okay, so now it's time for the shaker itself. You can see that the shaker window is on the inside of the card. So the front of the card is just a completely open window. So we need to sandwich the shaker between the back of this card and that white panel that's going to go behind it. So I'm putting some super strong double-sided adhesive on the back of our card. This will make sure that nothing comes undone and our shaker is safe inside. This is Be Creative tape, but any strong dry adhesive would work here. Now I have 2 pieces of acetate here that I'm going to use to create my little shaker. I'm using the acetate that came in this kit, but you can use any kind of scrap plastic that you may have from some packaging. Now again, I need some strong double-sided tape or strong adhesive here. And I'm just going to go around the front of the window on our white panel. I just need enough here to hold the shaker in place. So I'm going to remove the release paper from this, and I'm going to put down my first piece of acetate. So this will be the back of the shaker window. Now, once I have this down, this is where it gets really important. You want to make sure that you put a lot of tape on this next step, because this is what's going to hold in all of our little sequins and beads and such that we put inside. So notice when I do this, I'm putting down each piece right up against the last one that I put down. And I'm trying to stay pretty close to the window itself so that it's right up against it. But you want to make sure each piece touches the piece that you put down before. Now you could use foam tape here and have some dimension so that it really shakes a lot, but I didn't want to add too much dimension to this. If you have a fuse tool, you can use that instead, and I will link to a bunch of videos that I've done on shaker cards in the past so you can see the different options there are for shaker windows. I almost used the fuse tool for this card, but I wanted to show you that you could do it with just double-sided adhesive. So I have removed the release paper from all the tape around this window, and now it's time to put the fun little shaker bits inside. These little things from Lucy Cards is included in the kit this month from Hero Arts, and it's a mix of wonderful sequins of different shapes and sizes and also some little seed beads. It's a beautiful, beautiful Valentine's mix. So I've put as much as I want inside of that, trying to keep it off of the adhesive, and now I'm carefully putting the other piece of acetate on top of that, pressing around the edges very firmly so that all the sequins and beads stay on the inside. Now this little one kind of snuck out and is sticking to the adhesive, so I'm just going to take a tool to kind of push that in just to make sure that it doesn't stick to the edges. So now we have all of our little shaker bits on the inside, sandwiched between those acetate pieces. I'm just trimming off some of the extra acetate around here. You could leave it if you wanted to, but you really want to make sure you press around the edges with your fingers so that it adheres very nicely. Now this is going to only shake a little bit, but I like that because it keeps all of those sequins from falling to the bottom of the card. If you use foam tape, a lot of them just kind of fall to the bottom. So I actually like that there's not much room for them to shake around. There's enough in there that they do shake, just not a ton. So now I can remove the release paper from the back of our card and position this right over it so that our shaker is actually safely tucked inside between all of those layers. So now we have a shaker window card that you can see completely through to the other side, and I just think that's something fun and different. Okay, so now it's time to finish off the card with the embellishments and sentiment on the front. I'm using one of the stamp sets that is included in this monthly kit. There's actually 2 stamp sets in the kit. This one has a bunch of little hearts with sentiments on it, and also sentiments that you can team up to create different messages. And I'm going to use hugs and kisses. And by the way, you see some pink strips on the side of my card there. Completely ignore them. I had put them there but decided I don't want them, so I removed them in a bit. So just ignore them and pretend you didn't see anything. Okay, so I'm stamping this onto a thin strip of pink cardstock with Versamark ink and adding some Hero Arts white embossing powder. I'll zap that with my heat gun, and I have the perfect little sentiment strip for the front of this card. By the way, I decided to not make this like a Valentine specific card. There is a Valentine die that comes in this kit, but I decided to not use that. Instead, use a love die so that I could send this to a friend. So I used this Hero Arts love die. This love die actually comes with the stamp set, so it's the die and the stamp that come together. But I'm just using the die today. I die cut that from some silver glitter cardstock that I had, just some scraps. And I'm just using a little bit of strong liquid adhesive to glue that love right around the sentiment strip, so it's attached to it with some super strong glue. Once that's dry, I'm just kind of figuring out where I want this to float across the front of this window. So I'm kind of figuring out exactly where I want it. Then I'm going to use my scissors to trim the sentiment strip to be a little bit smaller than the width of our note card. So this little love die cut is kind of floating across the window on the card. So I wanted to be sure that I use that super strong Ranger Multi-Medium adhesive to hold it against that little Hugs and Kisses strip so that it doesn't fall off. So I'm finishing off the ends of this banner by cutting them to a V. I want this, again, to be suspended across this window, so I'm going to put some strong double-sided tape on the ends of this banner, and that's what's going to hold it over the window. So I have 2 tiny little pieces. I'm going to put one on one end and one on the other, and this will hold it to the card itself. There are many ways that you could simplify this card. You could skip the shaker completely, or you can just do the shaker window right here on the front of the card also. I just really love the look of a floating sentiment on the front of a window, and teaming that up with the shaker window on the back is really fun. Okay, so at this point I decided I just needed a few little embellishments on this card. So I have this little heart die set. You see that little die over there? It cuts a bunch of super tiny hearts. This is from Hero Arts also. It's not included in this kit, but it's one that I reach for often. And it cuts these tiny little hearts. So I'm taking 3 of these with some of that super strong Ranger multi-medium adhesive. And I'm adding those to the front of the card. And this is, again, that same silver glitter cardstock. This just adds a little bit of fun to it. You could use gems or sequins here, but I didn't want to add any more bulk to the card. So that wraps it up. You have a shaker window card here where you can actually see from the front of the card through the back. Just something a little fun and unexpected. If you're interested in the products, they're linked below in my YouTube description, but I encourage you to head over to my blog by clicking here on the top left for much more information. In the middle are 3 other things that might be helpful to you. The first will link you to a playlist of all my shaker cards. The middle will give you a video using the fuse tool, which is helpful if you like doing shakers. And the third card is another window card. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again soon, and Happy New Year.